Greetings, my people. Greetings, my people. I'm getting over a cold, so if I'm a little stuffed up, then that's why. But today is Sunday, March 10th, 2024, 2:46 p.m. And I called this one, I titled this one, Black Males Are to Blame. And you know I get right into it. I don't dance all around the bush. Um Now, listen, I'm gonna give you a disclaimer before you even sit down to listen. I'm gonna give you a disclaimer before you even get down to listen. I am about to talk about R. Kelly. So if you are a fan of his, if you can't deviate your feelings from a person that's under this, then this video isn't for you. I don't need everybody to listen. I don't need viewers. Numbers don't run me, right? So I just want to put that sidebar out. I want to put that asterisk up there. If you are triggered by the things I'm about, if you feel some type of way, this video not for you. Okay? And it's not about him. But I'm gonna get into this. It's not all about him. Because for some reason you have to uh do like all of these, well, this person, that person, this. Listen. But what makes me is I saw a video of Corey Holcomb, right? And we all know how Corey Holcomb is when it comes to just the opposite sex. Fucking piece of shit. Take it how you want. Fucking piece of shit. And he has the same type of impact as Charleston White, right? As the broke clock can be right twice a day type shit. But this is why I say black males are to blame, because much like and let me set the table even more. Much like how black females are to blame for the supporting of effeminized males. Uh Black males on the internet always dressing up like women. The most the more most people you see sharing these videos are black females. Is that safe to say, right? So when it's something black females are doing, we have no problem. We have no problem addressing, putting a stamp on it, and delivering it. But when it comes to this one, is he the listen? Is he the only one to have done it? No. Is he the only? Are there ones that still doing it that's getting away with it right now? Yes. But this is why I come so hard on him, because this right here seems to cloud black males' judgment. And it's almost like, when you're talking to somebody and they say Africans sold Africans into slavery, and how that is as if they knew kind of like the intentionality. Okay, so the thing with this is the narrative that gets shaped is that every single parent sold their children into this. Now, were there ones that knowingly sold their children? Yes. Are there ones that's currently that did it to exploit him? Yes. But does it take away from the trauma? Did we not witness him? Did we not know that he was in a relationship with a young Aaliyah? I'm not gonna never get off of this. So if you're expecting me to, you sadly mistaken. Because it's not about beating up on him, because he, much like Nature Boy, was a victim. But it's like the movie Cujo. Put it like this. Put it in context like this. Cujo was just strolling about the field when you watch the beginning of that movie. What happened to Cujo? He stuck his head into a hole and got bit on the nose by a bat, which infected him, right? And that dog became mad, right? But because that dog was made a victim, did it mean that he had the right to go around and bite other children and make other victims out of other people? Put this into a context. Get your emotions out of this. Because what we have to understand as fathers, that what if it was yours? If he was just a regular guy, would you have all of this defense? And if you would, And okay, so where do we toe the line with predators? We get comfortable. Where do we toe the line with predators? Okay, so if you have sympathy for this one, should you not have sympathy for them all? I mean, they're all victims in one way or another, right? They're all victims. But the reason why I harp on this person so much is because of the past. So Corey Holcomb says, my brother R. Kelly, my brother this, my brother that. There's pride. And we know Corey Holcomb isn't a defender. And why I said black males are to blame, because we are the defenders of our daughters. We are the protectors. So if we are making excuses, what do we sound like as black men making excuses? I'm sorry that Nature Boy was made a predator. I'm sorry that he had to go through, because when you really look at it, and I was having this conversation with a friend, when you look at what happened to Nature Boy on a different metaphysical level, he was molested by popes and bishops. And we understand how the history of those go back. But what I want us as black males, like I said, if you can't listen to this without the need to want to argue or defend, if you feel the need to argue and defend, and if you feel the need of what I'm saying is a direct attack, then that's something that you have to ask yourself within. Why? Why? But I don't have favorites. I don't have favorites, because you don't get to victimize. And everybody keeps saying this catalog, this catalog, this catalog, this catalog. And I don't take that off the table, because Hollywood knew he was doing that for the longest. But it's the whole, he's the victim. And I always say this as a male, because males have to give consent to sex too. Did you know that? Did you know a male had to give consent to sex also? So when you're thinking and saying, where were the parents? Don't know where they were. Could have been in the next room. But where we have to place square blame is who made him get erect. Are we really ready for this type? And it's not, like I said, again, it's not beating up on a man. It's beating up on the mentality that you have adopted toward one person. That there's all this outcry, support, and defense, and never do you mention the victims. You said, oh, they was a part of it because like they're nothing. This is white supremacy. This is white supremacist way of thinking. Because what were the narratives that they put out about black females? There's the movie, was it Sankofa, or was it another one that I was looking at? I remember the scene in my head. And the two slave monsters got these two black ladies in the room, and they're kind of smacking her on her behind kind of hard. And he said, hold on. He's roughing her up. And the other white boy said to him, hold on. He says, she likes that type of stuff. Because what white people did was shape narratives that they're oversexed, that they like this, that they're loose. You see what I'm saying? So when you conjure up these things, when you automatically when you say, well, the parents was in on it too. Guess what you're saying? Africans sold Africans into slavery. Though the transition went down, did it make it right? This is what I want y'all to understand. This is what I want to permeate inside of y'all. Was it okay? We have to protect. And it can't be just yours. You can't wait. I was watching the fentanyl crisis, right? I was watching the fentanyl crisis, and there was this white chick, and she was talking about how her 14-year-old son, where were the parents now? Her 14-year-old son, he started out with weed. I don't buy weed as the gateway of drug. I've been smoking weed since I've been a teenager, and I've never tried anything high. Right? So it's a gateway for those who wants to open that gate. So she was saying that she didn't understand until basically it was like her. She ignored a lot of signs until it was her. So I'm watching this. So I'm watching this. I'm watching this, and I'm watching them saying, "Why weren't there more things?" She was saying, "Why weren't there more things done?" And see, I also want to say this to a lot of you cats that think white folks don't do nothing. You Shannon Sharps that say it's always us, Skip. Those of you that adopt the analogy of that the black people are the worst of the worst. White people have the most. They have the most. Just watch stuff like Intervention. This is why I like watching shows like Intervention, because culture shows you how people live, how people eat, how people raise their children. So I like to watch shows like Wife Swap. I like to watch shows like that because it shows how they culturally get down. That makes sense what I'm saying? So in this white chick saying that she really didn't understand until they hit home. Her 14-year-old son. But then we talk about her. He died from. I think they said he thought it was Percocet that he was taking, but it wasn't. Right. So would it be fair to say where was she? Some yes, some no. You can't watch your children 24 hours. And yes, if those parents was in on that, they deserve to be locked down. But that's not what y'all saying. Y'all saying it as to say, and then it's the arrogance behind it. Man, free him. To do what? Free Cujo? Go back to the Cujo analogy. He was infected. He was infected young when it happened to him. So is this what we saying as black males and black? And I just use Corey Holcomb to open up. I don't trust nothing about Corey Holcomb. This is why Corey Holcomb still on live and call his daughter bitches. I think that there was a pastor or something that was trying to educate Corey. Corey Holcomb is so ignorant, it's mind blowing. And this is the misogyny of you Negroes. You Negroes. That's that. And only if you subscribe to this way of thinking. If you upstanding brothers, I salute you and I respect you. But this is the psyche of you Negroes, you little boosies, you Corey Holcombs, that he's trying to explain back to the pastor that he met his daughter's mother on the first night. I hit and did this to her on the first night. She wasn't shit. So wait a minute. In your mind, in you Negroes' backwards mind, the women that let you hit on the first night is trash, but you're something. You're something, right? But who's the trick for getting her pregnant? Who's the trick for paying child support? Huh, Lil Boost? See, there's something deep in the black male that he feels like he always has to lower or denigrate the black female. He has to always insult her. This is white supremacy. I'm telling y'all, just reading books is not gonna get this up out of y'all. Just reading books for those of us that do read, and those of you that don't read, black men. But there's a purification process that you must understand. You must shed your anger of the past. You must shed, excuse me, you must shed the anger of the women that failed you and chose other dudes over you. You must shed the pain of women that broke your heart and left you, women that played you, your mothers that wasn't there for you, your mothers that chose your boyfriends over you. There's a sickness in the Black community. We've been sickened, and we have to find healing. Like I said, it's not all about him. I just get tired of this narrative. This is why Black males are able to run around, because guess what? It's not male patriarchy. It's not male chauvinism. It's white male patriarchy. What are we the leaders in? Hmm? Besides rapping, basketball. And we ain't even that. You see, when Kyrie was talking about making Kobe the logo, they shot that down and gave him the All-Star Award. What are we the leaders in, Black males? Hmm? Talk to me seriously. What are we the leaders in besides your ego? What option do you have besides protecting? It's your choice who you protect and provide for. I see videos by Anton Daniels, and he was letting Fleece Johnson raise him up. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all have to be careful who y'all listening to. I don't care if y'all get mad at my message, whatever. But I'm not a puppet. I'm not somebody that's put here to say all the right stuff. Sometimes you got to say some wrong stuff or stuff that's perceived wrong. But that's subjective, right? That's subjective. Right and wrong is subjective. We listen to people like that tell you, listen at the psyche again. Let me walk you through the psyche again of saying, don't mess with single mothers, right? Okay, let me show you the psyche. Go back to these type of dudes that y'all listening from, right? You meet a woman, you only supposed to smash her, right? You can't show her no love. You can't show her no affection. She's supposed to just give you her body, and then you discard her. And then if you make a child, you won't even stay there and take care of it. So after you've left her with your child, she's supposed to take care of it. And then you guys have adopted the analogy that it's a weaker man that comes in and take care of your responsibility. Now, where we got to vet better as Black men, because see, we so scared of words. We so scared of phrases. This how you know you controlled. And it's everybody. It's nobody specific. Ain't nobody walking around here healed or clear, huh, L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige, as they say, you're at a clear level. You at the top OTA level in Scientology. So you're clear, right? For you Scientology babies. Right? Nobody's walking around clear. Nobody's walking around clear. We all have our issues. And like I said in my other videos, like Dr. Bobby E. Wright said, we all have the right to have our issues. But what you can't do is ignore those issues and walk around and make victims out of children, make victims out of women, and then get caught up and say, well, no, that's not it. You must hold that line better, fellas, because it's up to us. It's up to us. So, listening to people like Anton Daniels, these guys are lames too, for real. Listening to guys like that, they sit up here and say, don't take care of nobody else's children. Now, be careful of who you pick. I will say that, because I have made those mistakes in the past. Or were they mistakes or were they learning lessons? But I can't imagine my heart going through, okay, because the math don't be math. You're supposed to meet all these virtuous, virgin, freak hoes that ain't been that's only for you She got to have porn skills, but she only can do it to you. White supremacist mind. You're not even thinking clear. You're so scrambled in your emotions, you're not even thinking clear. I have been on that side. I have been played. I have been heartbroken. I have developed bonds with children only to be. Did that make me a fool? Again, subjective. There were foolish things I ignored. There were glaring red flags that I ignored. And that falls on me. See, black males must take accountability. Sometimes it is the woman. But you know, just like she know. This is why we can't get healthy. Like I said, this message is bigger than an R. Kelly. Because we ain't even ready to take it. We was never ready to talk about. I remember years ago, I did a 2-hour Blog Talk Radio talking about the Ninth Circle. Talking about she's dead now, the Queen Elizabeth and all those children they took. I remember talking about Bohemian Grove. Shout out to Ryan Garcia for talking about that. Ryan Garcia not crazy talking about that. So when my people get upset and say it's others that's doing it, I've been doing work for a long time. I just don't brag about it. There's history of me putting it down and talking about all these. So I know the origin of these things. This is why we got to hold the line, because I know the origins of this. There's a movie I watched. I think it's called The Sound of Freedom. And this is let me show you something. This is why our women think white men are better providers and protectors. Because I told you, images are advertisements to what? The mind. In the movie, The Sound of Freedom, this is sex trafficking of little children, right? But who is the hero? The white guy is looked at as the hero. Much like when I told you about Cassie. Slim Thug came out and said, well, what about the loyalty? You done laid in the bed with me all these years, and now you telling. See, this is why everybody shouldn't be talking. This is why just because you're a celebrity, it don't make what you're saying worth garbage truck juice. Because that was a statement, and you see so many reactive black males, because there's something in them that your chip has been activated that you have to hate women. You got to say something about her. That makes sense what I'm saying? Does it make sense what I'm saying? So this, like I said, we got to get out of this, because sometimes you got to take your hammer and bash some stuff, but we're so sensitive. Like I was on a live with a brother Friday, and we were talking about the Shannon Sharpe situation, and we always talking about black representation, right? Supporting black males, supporting black men that made it. And I said, brother, and it was a very good conversation. No, nothing. See, we have to be able to have conversations as black males. Everything ain't personal. Because me and you having a disagreement, it's not personal. I see things one way, you see things another way. Polarity. And in this live, I told him, I said, man, I see things different from Shannon Sharpe. I see Shannon Sharpe get on TV and shape narratives. And I've been saying this for the longest on my TikTok. I've been saying this for the longest in some of these videos. He shapes narratives. It's mighty funny how everybody we're programmed to instantly attack Ja Morant. To instantly attack Kyrie Irving. When Kyrie Irving refused to take the jab, they programmed you comfortable to see him as the villain. But Aaron Rodgers lied. And how many of us saw Aaron Rodgers as the liar and the villain? No. Engineering consent. Edward Bernays. You got to understand how the mind got you there. So if you hear something repeated long enough, it becomes a mantra. Free R. Kelly. I don't give a fuck what he did. That's your arrogance. That's your lower self-talking. Fuck that. What the parents was. You're so dismissive. I don't know. Thank God I had a mother that protected. But could you imagine what it's like being a child and an older man is being given to you by their parents? Same thing as crack. So let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. Anybody that's gonna watch this video in the future, ponder on this. Okay, if a drug dealer sells a person drugs, right? And this goes both ways. If he sells the person drugs and the person passes away or overdoses, should he go to jail too? And if the drug dealer is caught, should the buyers go to jail? It's a real question. Should all the buyers go to jail? Because everybody involved should go to jail too, right? Y'all got to think deeper on what y'all saying, because these are emotional reactions. This is rationality. You're not thinking in your higher self. You're not thinking in your innate protection. You thinking for what you like. You thinking about step in the name of love. I know plenty of them, but none of them is championed like this. Bill Cosby was made a joke of, calling him Bill Cosby. Nobody was saying free him like this. If Chris Stokes is to go down right now for his alleged, how many of us be saying, man, free Chris Stokes, man, I don't care what y'all. Would you? Or would you forget about him? If Jay-Z allegedly is involved and on this Epstein list, allegedly, would you stand up and say, free him, man, I don't care. It's a hard knock life. So if you wouldn't, why for this person? It's bigger than him. He a small fish, a breadcrumb, an expendable Negro. That there's plenty of more they know that waiting to come in and do this. The top of the chain, you ain't even ready. Most of them won't even utter their mouth and even speak the top of the chain names. So gatekeeping is on all levels. Right? Black males must rise up and really, you gotta learn to love yourself. With something, I'm still going through therapy. Like I said, I'm not gonna get on this and fake kick it and tell you about the follicles of my hair and how it radiates and give me whatever, all that stuff. That's fluff. Tell about the real parts of life. Tell about the real issues of fatherhood to those that are excellent Black fathers that don't get the shine. And see, I asked, and I also had a conversation with a brother of mine, and I said, bro, you know what's funny? And I know I'm about to wrap it up. I said, bro, you know what's funny? Is that when it was Will Smith, Chris Rock, and Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock told that nigga joke at her expense in front of them room full of white folks, right? Everybody laughed. Because again, how many black males hate Jada Pinkett? You can feel how you want to feel. I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm just here to ask questions. Right? Jada Pinkett for the streets. She did what she did with August Alsina. Mighty funny how y'all skipped over how that dude said he caught Will Smith and Dwayne Martin, and Dwayne Martin was interrogating that asshole. Mighty funny how he ain't for the streets. Right? So it was funny, it was jokes when Chris Rock did that. And Chris Rock had a history. Going back to the Chris Rock show, going back to the Oscars. He had a history of keep fucking with these families, right? But you got somehow Chris Rock became the victim. I saw my boy Michael J. White on Vlad talking about Chris Rock got bullied and beat up when he was in school, and it just wasn't right. See, none of Malcolm told us about that media. That's a very cold eye right there. So when it was her, and she's the ass of the jokes, whether you like her or not, she ain't even my favorite person, and she a Virgo. She's not even one of my favorite people because I think she treats him very shitty. But again, y'all can't look at Will Smith as this victim. You leave that relationship if it ain't serving you. If she's just humiliating him so bad and he just, y'all got to stop with this. The same thing with Drea Michelle. I'm saying it's going around. She's being called a groomer. Do you guys really know what a groomer is? A groomer is what they did to Michael Jackson as a little boy. Check out Corey Feldman. Check out Corey Feldman. Since y'all want to see y'all want to know some good whites, because that's where it's wicked. Check out Corey Feldman. You know him and Corey Haim. They were very popular in the 80s and 90s. I think it was both of them played in License to Drive, which was one of my favorite childhood movies. There's a video of Corey Feldman, the dark-haired one, and I forget what he was on, whether it was Dr. Phil or somebody, and they had him getting ready to confront his abuser, and you could see the life and the everything, his manhood, everything. He got reduced to a little child. So when y'all are being dismissive, y'all got to understand y'all being dismissive to people's trauma. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a person. Because we are traumatized people. I'm not talking about a person. I'm not picking on nobody. This is why we can't rise above, because that truth gets smothered with emotion. I don't care who it was. It could have been Pee Wee Herman. It could have been Mario Van Peebles. It could have been Michael Jackson. It could have been Tito. If you doing that, I'm not rocking with you. But our babies are watching. Your girls are watching you as examples, fellas. Your sons. Choose better is on both sides. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm basically saying. I'm saying people like Corey Holcomb, shut the hell up. Corey Holcomb notice Corey Holcomb never has nothing good to say. He's more so like the bitter baby mama. He never has nothing good to say about nobody. Oh, the funky bitch, one thing, I'm gonna stand on it. The funky bitch need to know this. Even that in your vernacular. Even that in your vernacular, that you can't rise above. Because we get so conscious and then we start saying, well, bitch really mean this. Or nigga really mean it. If bitch don't mean nothing negative, let your children say it. Let your children freely say it. When they walk up to an adult, what's up, bitch? And see how it is. See when you be embarrassed. See when you be embarrassed. We gotta rise up. We gotta raise these frequencies. And it's drop by drop. It ain't no overnight. It ain't no YouTube video you can watch and it hit like that. Ain't no book you can read that turn it on like that. It's a constant dealing with yourself. See what I'm saying? And we must always know that everybody has 3 lives. You got your public life that everybody see. You got your private life that only people close to you see. And then you have your secret life. So when we saying what a person, you need to mind your business. I don't care what a person. Stop with this dismissive stuff. If children are being harmed behind bedroom doors, your business. Like I said in my last video, what you do in your bedroom when you bring it out and try to force it on me, yeah, now that's my business. You can get down with men and women when you want, all you want. But when you bring a child in, you are y'all can even mess with animals if you want to. That's on you now. But what I'm saying is it has to be an elevation in the mentality. If y'all ain't getting nothing out of what I'm saying, it has to be an elevation in the mentality of how you think. Because your thinking reflects your actions. You must think it before you do it, right or wrong. Look, Will Smith thought about that. He thought about it before he went up there and slapped shit out of Chris Rock. He thought about it. Chris Rock even thought about fighting back, but then he realized he So that's basically what I'm saying. I'm laughing because I enjoy it. Listen, I wasn't one of them dudes. And I still, because I interact with different brothers on their live. And I'll be on a panel with a brother that totally disagree with me. And one brother told me, he said, well, I think it was some sucker shit. How is a man, no matter how he does it, how is a man defending his woman in sucker shit? Unless he's fighting another dude that she's chosen over him. Now that's sucker. Because she already chose. But he was defending the honor of his wife. And so many dudes was like, oh, he lost his money. That's what's wrong. Y'all let money dictate y'all morality. So many black males tell me Shannon Sharpe wasn't in a position to slap shit out of Skip Bayless because he was at work. He had to be professional. Motherfucker, Skip Bayless didn't have to be professional. He is salty. You know why? Because he know it. He know this big old field dude can't do nothing to me because he has to be professional. And we always are afraid of how we look. We always concerned about how we gonna look in front of white people. You saw that at the end of Chris Rock comedy show, which I refused to watch, but I always told he felt like he ate and dropped the mic. I didn't fight back because my mama told me not to fight in front of white people. Really? Really? So yeah, that's what it was on my mind. And like I said, I love this page because it's kind of like a vlog. It's like a video diary for me. And more people are starting to find it. But honestly, this page was never meant for nobody to really find. Because sometimes people are so bothered by your opinion, bothered how you feel and how you choose to stand on stuff, whether good or bad. We all are victims to it. But what I'm saying is, I'm going to end the video on this. Hold the line, man. Your babies are always watching you. And you can feel how you feel toward their parents. But if you don't protect the children, then it's no future. There's no future if we allow our children to be molested, beat on, abused, abandoned. We got to look at us. We always talking about one thing about Mexicans, one thing about Chinese, one thing about what is the one thing about us? How do we fix us? Forget them. They okay. They doing quite all right. How do we fix us, y'all? So hit the like and subscribe if you want to. Even hit the comments with answers. Stupid comments will be ignored. Emotional comments will be ignored. Emotional comments will not be answered because we can't keep dealing in how we feel. We can't keep dealing in how we feel. And that's all I'm gonna say. I leave you and I say peace.